Hey, what's up, guys? It's time for another discussion, but this time I finally got everyone together. What's going on? Mir and
Hey.
Sonic. What's going on, guys?
Yo, what up?
Sonic Soul. So, yeah, we were gonna do a tier list video, but then we're like, man, this is gonna take forever to do. It's gonna be too long. So, we'll shorten it up, and we're just, for now, we're gonna talk about our top 5 characters in Street Fighter 5. And just jump straight to the chase. And, you know, we're pretty far in the season now. I'd say halfway, maybe more than halfway. We had a ton of majors. I think it's a good time to start talking about this now, especially after the 2 big patches as well. So basically, I went through like what I think my top 5 characters are, and then I asked you guys individually, and then we all have the same 5 characters. So that's good.
Yes.
And I think most people agree on like who the top 5 characters are right now, but we'll go through the list and then we'll be a little bit more bold and go through it in our order of actual, you know, 5th worst to the best, and then go from there, kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna pick one of these 5 characters at random, and then we'll just discuss them one by one. So let's start with Guile. Let's start with Guile.
Okay. Well, Guile, I would say, is an obvious pick because he's a very well-rounded character that can deal, well with zoning. He's got pressure up close. Got damaging conversions. He's got everything. Like, he's just a very versatile character.
He's got a 3-frame normal. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I guess he doesn't have that one.
That's true. Yeah.
But like, basically what Mir said, like his pressure up close, like surprisingly for like a zoner, is really good because he's got +2 booms, which is very great for playing throw game, and his pressure is crazy. Like the opponent has to know like to avoid stuff like the bazooka and E-block string, but for the most part, like up close, like he is annoying to deal with, and he has upside down kick as well. His flash kicks, while they got quote unquote nerfed, they help out in terms of his defense game and zoning game, because it's like the flash kick pushes them far, so it's like he gets to go back into this annoying play style. And his pokes are really solid. His forward fierce, while it doesn't hit on crouchers, if it crush counters, he gets a big confirm off of it. And overall, I just think that he's well-rounded. Like, he's really good.
He's this super strong zoner that can also play really close.
Mm-hmm.
But Mir, like, even after the V-Trigger 2 nerf, though, because like at the start of Season 3, Guile was definitely really crazy with V-Trigger 2. But even after that nerf, you still think he's up there, hey?
Yeah, I was just about to mention. I think he's got 2 perfectly viable V-Trigger choices, which is really important, honestly.
Yeah.
Not even all of the top tiers can say the same thing about their own V-Triggers. Yeah. So it's an option that you get, straight up character select.
I kind of miss V-Trigger 2 though. Like most Guile players are leaning towards V-Trigger 1 just because of the conversion. They cancel into V-Trigger.
Yeah.
But
I would say that V-Trigger 1 is the safer option now.
Yeah, safer.
V-Trigger 2, it can still work in certain matchups where you have to cover, both the air and the ground.
And it's easier to use.
2 bars too.
Alright, let's move on to the next character now. Menat. I don't think there's a surprise on this one.
I don't think it's a surprise either. I mean, we've seen her in a lot of tournaments. A lot of pro players have picked her up.
Justin Wong says she's Elena.
Hey, man. Okay, the question is though, was Menat always this good? Like, when did she come? When she first came out, and we were going, me and Sonic were like, she's got potential. Was she already at this top 5 hidden top tier?
Well, she didn't have DPM punches. I forget the name of the move. The explosions, the orb explosion
punches.
The Soul Spark?
No, the Soul Spark. There we go.
Oh yeah.
The Soul Spark is like a huge addition to her kit.
Right.
Because it's a lot of chip. Covers a big area. The orb comes back immediately. It's very, very strong. Like, it allows her to keep zoning, right? Because the orb is just sitting there, and you have to worry about it
too.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's I think a big addition. And then they tweaked some of her like the hurtbucks and stuff of her anti-airs and stuff that also
to be more consistent.
But I think the Soul Spark was like a huge addition.
What about
Definitely
her V-Trigger 2? They didn't really add anything, eh?
No. I mean, it's kind of like it's interesting because it seems like easy mode V Trigger 1, but of course V Trigger 1 has more potential, so people tend to use
It's
that
like the
one.
training wheels V Trigger. I don't know.
Kind of.
It definitely is a training wheels V Trigger.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you lose out on a lot of the mix-ups that you would normally get with V Trigger 1,
Mhm.
which I think are a bit more viable. Like, you get fuzzy guard break setups, you get the dive kick stuff, like you get conversions from just regular like pokes that are ridiculous that go into resets.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of expression with her V Trigger 1.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and now it's I wouldn't say mastered, but people are finding out stuff like almost every day with this V
Oh,
Trigger,
yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the pro players are catching up. They're collecting all the info from these lab monsters, and like Menat just keeps getting stronger, and they keep buffing her.
Yeah.
Like just keep
It's
buffing
just-
Menat.
It's just that the options that you get from V Trigger 1 so crazy, right? You have so many different routes that you can take.
Yeah.
And so like your opponent has to be wary of every of them, like
Mhm.
every single one of them.
True.
So that adds a lot to the matchup. And I think she's really good against a lot of other top tiers.
Mhm.
So that helps.
Okay, next character. Some people might agree, but they're probably the players that play this character, and that's Cammy.
Oh.
Cammy has been an interesting journey. I mean, the character is basically a meme at this point in terms of being top tier. Before, she had a good OS where, you know, she didn't win a major, but now she has.
but Vesper, she hasn't won a major.
But no,
Well, no,
seriously,
she has-
NL has been playing Cammy for a long time, so like it was just only a matter of time, man. So
Yes.
Cammy, obviously she keeps getting buffed, but like, what is it about this character that's just?
Well, I mean, the first and most obvious thing, I guess, is the fact that on top of great movement speed and movement options in general,
Yeah.
she extremely plus on her normals, like, and fast normals too, right? So it's like it's plus three all over the place, and combined with the fact that you move so fast and you have so good pressure with throws as well, right?
Yeah.
It's just really daunting to face their offense because you can get just tiny medium punches like 5 times in a row, it frame traps into itself. Like what?
Why aren't you
And
guys
then
just
it's
taking
like-
the throw, man? You gotta stun her.
And they take the throw mid
And then after like
the corner,
7 or
good
8 throws,
Yeah.
Good
yeah,
luck in the
after
corner.
7 or 8 throws.
And then it's like her mid screen, right? Because of her good walk speed, right? And coupled with the fact that she's got like really good normals, like standing medium kick, try with punishing that. I'm not joking, by the way. You could try to whip punish it, but
It's slow though.
pretty
It's like
annoying.
7-8 frames, man.
I'm talking about standing medium kick. The recovery, the hurt box retracts back.
I mean, it's slow compared to her back medium punch. It's like 4 frames.
Our back medium punch is a really good anti-air. Cammy players tell me though that it comes out in the 5th frame, but it's
Yeah.
still
Well, I mean,
ridiculous.
I mean, like, if you look at the hitboxes, technically it's not an anti-air, but you have to, like, I still have to find a situation where it doesn't work, honestly, every time.
The thing about
And
Cammy,
it's
though,
like-
we have to agree that she's out of the list of these 5 characters. She's got to be the most linear character out of these 5, right?
Oh yeah.
Hell
Hey
yeah.
man, she has no overheads.
Okay, so I mean, I don't think like Capcom nerfing her. They gotta be really careful if they do, because if they nerf anything, she'll be like useless, man. That's the thing, like, cause she's so linear.
And I
Watch
think
the-
her dive
next
kick is
match
also
was-
really annoying to deal with in the neutral too, because like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
trying to punish her, and it's like all of a sudden you have the dive kick coming after you, and it's very hard to deal with. Some characters have
Uh-huh.
trouble anti-airing it. Other times, since she's got the bar, it's instant, so it's like good luck. She's plus. She has hooligan as well, and then it's also the fact that like against projectile characters like Guile,
Mm-hmm.
sure, he's okay with like dealing with most characters, but like the moment Cammy has bar or like V trigger, then it's like, well, damn, now I gotta deal
What
with
about Super? It's 1+2.
Oh,
my
Jesus.
God,
It's a
you
3
remind me
frame
about that
Super.
shit.
Yeah.
Good luck, you better have anti-aired it beforehand.
You cannot even parry it on reaction.
It's like the one character when they're from chip damage, like chip damage kill. Like she just does a super raw. Like you don't even need to do a block string. You just do it raw, and they're dead.
So crazy, yeah, because the heavy kick version goes full screen, so like, what? Yeah, the character definitely, I mean, it's to a point where she's just on a, like, on her own level, honestly. Like, it's just so weird. At this point, I don't even know how they can nerf her without like destroying something, you know?
Yeah. Like they buffed both
it's-
V triggers as well recently too.
Mhm.
So it's interesting. Really curious what they're gonna do with Cammy in the future. I just hope they don't go too crazy, like I said, because she's pretty linear. Okay.
maybe every normal will turn like plus 0 on block instead of +3, but the V skill would be an overhead.
V skill will be an overhead. Hey man, be careful what you wish for.
I mean, it's funny enough too because we don't even see V skill often from Cammy. So
I mean, before you did, I mean, Kazunoko used to do V skill, block stream the V skill, you know?
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay,
The ultimate mix.
let's talk about the fourth character now, Ibuki. So this might be the one character that some people might not agree with, maybe, for the top 5. But Ibuki, I actually feel is really strong, especially with players like Shen or Fujimura, showing like the peak of this character, and I really underestimated her her V trigger. I think maybe back in our video on top V triggers, I think we did mention Ibuki though for top V triggers. But now that we see the full potential, the 3 mix-ups you get pretty much, even when they block it, is insane. Her losing her V trigger 1, I seriously think that if they left V trigger 1 the same, Ibuki players would probably still use V trigger 2. That's how good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like the thing that's crazy about Ibuki is that eventually she'll get you. That's kind of how it goes, because sometimes you're forced to guess, and the guess that you have to make is really hard, and like it's not just 50-50, you know.
Infiltration
Sometimes it's more.
Too.
Yeah, so sometimes it's more than 50-50, like three ways, right? So
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
it's like you'll get to a point where you're forced into a mix-up, and there's not really a way out. And she's got like a lot of tools, you know. She's got DP, she's got free trade normals, good movement speed, you know. She can play footsies with
Her
own
neutral is so
V-skill.
strong, really good.
Yeah,
very
she's got
strong.
like V skill is really good for counter poking and just playing neutral in general.
Forward heavy kick, crouching medium kick in the V trigger from literally anywhere. Half the time.
The EX
Like-
kunai allows her to get in, which is always scary.
And
plus
there's
plus
a-
31 still.
Yeah, if she dashes forward on the ground, she's -2. But the thing is that they could play around with that and micro step.
There's some interesting things you could do. You know, one thing about Ibuki that's actually really strong, I don't see too many people talking about, is her forward throw. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she's really close to you after, and then
In the corner, she could micro step. And
she has
throw
like
you
a
against
pseudo throw loop, but since she's so
some-
close, it's really hard to eyeball, you know?
Yeah. Some people said that like she might have had like a micro walk through loop with 4-framers. Defeat Lee had said that on Twitter, but then he redacted that statement afterwards. I still think that even facing it now myself, like whenever I'm in the corner, it's like I just feel like my throw gets my button still gets stuffed because it's still like the throw is so close. Like she's
Yeah,
literally
so
like
tight.
right next to you in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very tight.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and the risk of getting crash countered by for a heavy kick or getting like crouching medium punch or something, it's so high that you really don't want to press anything, and you might just take the throw and then you get to guess again. So it's
Yeah,
really scary.
like a lot of the pseudo throw loops right now involves them dashing, but Ibuki walks forward, you know, so it's really hard to eyeball it.
Meanwhile, she could stagger standing strong on you as well. Like she go walk forward, stand strong, and scare you with the throw. So,
But I mean, the V triggers, it really makes everything come together, man. Like the
Oh,
utility
yeah,
of it is
man.
insane. She can use it raw. She can use it anti-air. She can use combo after EX kunai, after EX DP into EX kunai.
she gets double EX rider loop from it. Like she gets the double EX rider
side
from
switch during it on the way back.
Yeah.
Overhead. There's just so much you can do, man. There's so much. It's
that's-
crazy.
That's exactly what I was referring to. It's just that you get to a point where she's gonna get V triggered because it's 2 bars. So I mean, it's not even that unrealistic, right? So she'll get you. Like the mix-up's just too strong, you know. So
You guys
Like I
think-
remember
even then-
Stunfest. I remember Stunfest, and they were highlighting what Fujimura was doing.
Yeah.
Like every single highlight was him activating V trigger. Every
Oh, of course. That's where we see all the mix-ups. You guys think Capcom did a good job balancing it though? Because remember how everyone complained it did no damage, but they really saw that, hey, we gotta be careful with this kind of V trigger, you know?
yeah.
well, I mean, there's so many. I want to say a little bit ridiculous things that Ibuki can do. You know when she does kunai release in the air and it's cross up and you land in front
Non-cross up,
and you
yeah.
land back, like so
Fake
weird.
cross-up.
Yeah, there's so many things that she can do that alongside the V triggers, it just gets even more crazy, right? So
Yeah.
you cannot have a character like this have too much damage, otherwise it's just nuts.
Okay. So the final character, you guys are probably wondering where this character was. It's Akuma.
Whoa,
Uh,
really?
whoa.
No way.
Akuma's top 5, no way. We've been having a lot of new Akuma players lately as well, and some players saying they're gonna switch to him. But I mean, I don't think anyone can deny Akuma is just too crazy. His kit is too insane.
Bro.
His
I
kit
still
is
remember-
too insane.
I still remember this one time when we were making the video about what makes a character good.
Oh yeah,
I
top
originally
tier.
planned to break down Akuma, but then I realized that I spent 20 minutes talking about just like how he works that I could not fit that.
Yeah,
in
we
the
had to
video, so-
trim the video down because you talked about how good Akuma was for like 20 minutes. We
It's
should have
just
just
got
took
so
that footage and put it in this video. There we go. Copy and paste it.
It's just got so many tools, right? And everything he does is like it has its own use. It's just really strong because his kit's so versatile and the character itself. You could say he has low health, low.
But he's got the lowest health mirror, 875.
Yeah, no, this one. There.
By the way, guys, that was a joke.
I mean-
Don't tell me in the comments.
I mean, the versatility and the damage too that he gets from like everything in his kit is just so over the top. And again, like Cammy, he's got good movement speed. I mean, it might not be as crazy, but still like really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, crushing medium punches +3, crushing heavy punches +3, and it's a crush counter. Like you can take 20 billion years to confirm that you got a crush counter because you have that hard puncher that juggles anyways.
The corner pressure is really good too.
Like you have two different fireballs. Like your normal fireball knocks down at certain ranges. Like, it's so many
Close
weird
up.
things.
Close up.
Yeah.
Reward.
Oh yeah, or at the maximum range where it explodes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got demon flip mix-ups and EX demon flip slide is plus. Like,
But
throwing vulnerability everywhere. Four hard punch is still a thing. Like standing medium kick with punishes everything.
okay, but
Like,
yes,
like,
Akuma's good. but
In
like,
the
I can
corner,
go on
he has-
forever, but
okay. What
In the
about
corner,
his V-trigger 2?
Standing medium kick in
What
the
about
red
his V-trigger 2?
fireball.
Because
what about
Tokido
V-trigger
used
2?
it a lot at the beginning of the season, and then he went back to
Well,
1.
Okay, so I think V-Trigger 2 is still a viable choice, but V-Trigger 1 is arguably better because it
Yes.
it works in more situations. Like it's more versatile, right?
Yeah.
And you still get access to Demon, and you get access to all your crazy whatchamacallit. You have the double air fireball, and you have better tokens, better DPs, more damaging conversions. While V-Trigger 2 might be, I guess at this point, it might be a little bit more suited for matchups where the opponent's not that good at defending, so you can get in situations where you can just do your crazy block strings for like 400 gray health. And, so it's a little bit more situational, but I still think it's worth picking up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of the pro players just prefer V-Trigger 1.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we have our list of 5 that once again we all agree on, we were looking at it and we're kind of just talking about a little bit of things that we've noticed from the list. So the first thing is that all 3 of us agree that Akuma is on that list on the number 1 spot. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. One thing we noticed is that Guile is the only character out of these 5 that don't have a 3-framer.
Yes.
I thought every character needs a 3-framer to be top tier.
Well, guess what? Someone doesn't.
I mean, he's still got a reversal.
Menat is the only character without a reversal.
I mean, she still got a 3-framer.
We're going in circles.
One or the other, isn't it?
You should have said Guile has a reversal.
Hey, guess what, guys? Akuma and Cammy have both. And Ibuki as well.
None of these characters in this list of 5 have 1,000 health.
So I guess it's not that important of a balancing factor.
I think it is, but it's not. I don't know. It is when you have Abigail with 1100 HP, though. But I mean,
I guess if your opponent never touches you, it doesn't matter how much health you have.
Yeah, I guess Seth would agree with you in Street Fighter 4. Oh man. All 5 of these characters have very strong V triggers, or multiple strong V triggers.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Guile, as we mentioned.
It's a very V trigger meta right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All 5 characters have tools to deal with zoners.
Yes. Or zoners themselves.
Or zoners themselves. With anti-zoning tools.
Yeah, we're upside down.
Oh, man. Okay. You guys want to talk about the honorable mentions, or we talk about our list of 5? Actually, let's go through the list of 5. So, we wanted to go, like, be a little bit more bold and say what we think in our actual order of worst from the 5 to the best. So I'll show you guys on the screen what that is on our list. And all 3 of us have a different opinion on that, but like I said before, all 3 of us agree that Akuma is the best character in the game. If we had to choose.
Yes.
I mean, if we all agreed these are A+, but yeah.
Even if I couldn't choose, I think Akuma would still be the best
character. Okay. So you would say he'd be like in a tier of his own, you would say? Like Akuma tier?
No, like, what I imagine is that I think at this point, if you look at the characters that we just mentioned, Akuma is just the one that's got the most things, the most tools in general. I think I don't know. I think he's just crazy. And he's really good in a game like Street Fighter 5. It fits really well.
Yes.
Because of all he has.
Yes.
So I would think that a lot of people can agree with this. I mean, I know that there are a lot of Akuma apologists around there, but like.
Please, Mir, stop! Stop, Mir. Okay.
No, I'm just saying. Like...
There was once a time.
Okay, the next thing we should talk about is that I'm the only person who put Ibuki as 2nd. Both of you guys put Ibuki as 5th. So I guess we should talk about Ibuki. The reason I have her so high is because I feel like she's like another Akuma, where she has such a huge kit in general that I believe that I would put Akuma and Ibuki in their own tier list by themselves, honestly, from what I've seen so far. So why do you guys disagree? I want to know.
Well, I guess the reason why I don't think Ibuki's as strong as Akuma is that a lot of her power comes from having V trigger, and I mean it's not like outside of V trigger she's bad. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
but she's gotta land so many hits.
Yeah,
like,
when she gets V trigger is really crazy, and I agree. Like when she has V trigger, the mix-up potential is extremely strong.
Yeah.
But if you look outside of V trigger, Akuma still has 99% of his options.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And
good damage.
Yeah, and a lot of other characters, and that's why Ibuki's like 5th for me. Cammy, Guile, Menat. I think they have like a lot of options outside of V trigger. Well, Ibuki's a little bit more explosive, I guess, in that sense. So I think that limits her a little bit.
Okay.
But she's still, a top contender.
Yeah.
That's what.
I just feel like what you say about V trigger, like it is definitely a part of the game where you're guaranteed the V trigger every round, and it's just that I feel like because Ibuki can use her V trigger even the opponent is blocking, like it's still very strong. So the fact that it's a 2-bar and she gets it sometimes even twice in a round I find it just insane. And yeah, her V trigger is definitely a bigger, more reliant than Akuma, but I mean the EX Kunai and her strong neutral tools, I still feel like her kit is still very good. Even the Flying Squirrel has its uses sometimes, with her. So that's why I have her up so high. As for the other characters, I mean between Menat, Guile, and Cam, we all kind of have them in different places. But I wish we can go down the matchups and really try to figure it out, But some of these characters do have their bad matchups for sure,
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, even top tiers can bleed, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's what Capcom's goal is, right? To do. So.
Well, I would say a good example, if I can get a little bit ahead of myself, I guess, would be the reason why I put Guile below Menat. Because I think that the advantage that actually Menat has over Guile, and in the matchup, Menat versus Guile, makes a big difference. Yeah, exactly. Makes a
Because
big
like
difference
Menat has so
for-
many tools to stop Guile in order to play his like zoning game in a sense, like
Mhm.
forcing Guile to go in. Like let's say like Guile wants to throw booms, well you have Soul Spark, you have Reflect. He jumps at you to try to be offensive. You have a really good anti-air option, and all your normals are really good to keep him away, so he can't really play a mid-range game with you. Up close, it's like, you know, that's where he's going to end up like getting a lot of pressure on. But if Menat can just keep him out, which is most of the time very successful, you know, it's very hard for Guile to really like get his game started on offense.
Yeah, exactly. So like in a in a scenario where we're discussing a top 5, I felt like Menat probably has the advantage in this top tier matchup. Like Menat versus Guile, which is something that you might see at tournaments all the time because top tiers are probably the most common characters that
Okay.
So like.
But when I chose Guile over Menat, it was just thinking of like the overall matchups in general and how well-rounded Guile was, as opposed to Menat, who is like, to me, I think strictly a zoner. So
okay,
that was just like my
until she activates
thought
V-Trigger,
process.
and then she's going.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, before we close out this video, I wanted to do some honorable mentions as well. Some characters that were like, we had like, it popped up in our head, but we were like, So the first character I would mention is Rashid. Punished Rashid. That's Rashid. A hero denied his Eagle Spike. Guys. Discuss. Sonic. Why didn't Rashid make top 5, man? What's going on?
Oh man. Well,
I mean, he got nerfed really hard in terms of a lot of things. Like, his kit is so good, but he got a lot of nerfs, man. You can't deny he got a lot of nerfs.
Eagle Spike without V-Trigger too is pretty bad. Like, it's pretty much Blanca Ball at this point. Like,
but Rashid is still really good though. I feel, It's just,
I mean, you can also get out of the whirlwind stuff now too. So
I know, but like, man, the stuff they're doing with V-Trigger too, just the idea of Rashid being able to go into a random normal into V-Trigger 2 and then not have to worry about the V-Trigger being wasted because of that is so good. Because his normals are really good. Like, the Crouching Fears is like insane, right? And
like, to be fair, to get out of the whirlwind pressure, it does require good presence of mind.
Yeah, it's like Ken's run.
I guess in an offline scenario, it could be easier than online, right? But at the same time, you have to look for it constantly. So you might, kind of like tunnel vision a little bit, and then you might get caught by something.
And they buffed it too, Mir, so that when he does land it, he's even more plus now.
Yeah.
So it's more rewarding if you can get away with it. So
it's a little bit more polarizing in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to do some of these nerfs, is to give him something back, some other way to use it. I like that.
Yeah.
Definitely like that. So yeah, they'll nerf Cammy's like pressure and then give her a command grip.
So what did they give Rashid back for not going through people? Wait, they give him nothing.
Okay, another character is Abigail. So another character that got like a wall scroll list, the Elder Scrolls 6 list of nerfs. But man, Abigail is such a huge like mid-tier, low-tier crusher. You guys notice that?
Yes.
He spanks mid-tier and low-tier characters hard. It feels impossible in some matchups.
Like if you don't have options to deal, for example, with the armored run or the wake up unblockables,
you gotta take it.
Like all that's like, you can space normals from so far away that you cannot do anything.
It's insane. Have you ever tried Blanca versus Abigail or Ryu, man? It feels impossible.
For me as Nash, if I want to punish him for doing EX run into the punch, like, I have to spend meter. I have to do EX assault to actually stop that. But other than that, I hold that shit. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I have to hold.
Don't you just zone him out though, Sonic?
No, I do zone him out. I'm not saying that it's impossible for me. Like, I can definitely deal with him. It's just, when he gets in, he's tough because I don't have defensive options.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Once he gets in, it's like, you still gotta deal with the throw. You still gotta deal with him guard crushing you.
Yeah.
And putting you in the Oki situations, which the player has to be smart. If they decide to say, well, I'm not gonna mash the buttons for the Abby punch.
Yeah.
Well, that means that they're gonna get Oki. It's gonna be more telegraphed to know what they're gonna do to you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, the fact that they get the mix up still between throw and button for not going for the damage is still pretty good. Yeah. And it's like, he still has good damage output. Despite him not having touch of stun, his damage output is still ridiculous.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if you're not careful, you get crush counter, you're gonna get deleted from the face of the earth. That's how it goes.
I don't feel so good.
His grab is really unique because you have options after he command grabs you. The EX version, you have options like to decide what you want to do. And that's unique, you know?
And let's talk about how his buttons are still really good.
Okay.
Maybe for another day. Yes.
Final honorable mentions. I just kind of wrote this up. One was Colleen, because I wanted to talk about Colleen's nerf in general. Because Colleen had real big potential to be on this top 5 list before the 3.5.
Oh no, you said the P word again, potential.
Oh, I gotta say it. I gotta say it, man. Sonic's here. So anyways, yeah. Her V-Trigger too, man. I mean, she was like, so many players, like, I mean, we still have a lot of players that use Colleen, but we were seeing them shoot up to like top 16, you know? It was nice to see a new face.
One too. Like, the thing about Colleen is that the V-Trigger 2, like, it really made the character, like, you know, popular. Like, that, it made the character a little bit, like, better than she was, obviously. Like, I wouldn't even say a little bit is probably an understatement. But, like, the fact that they nerfed the same, like the ambiguous cross-up meaty that she would get.
Yeah.
They nerfed that.
I mean, that was a fair nerf, though, right? Because they don't, everyone's complaining about the 50-50s, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a 50-50.
It's completely random.
It was literally a 50-50. So, I don't know.
So, it's like, I feel like the thing is, even with that nerf, though, aside, right, the V-Trigger 2 is still really good in the fact that, like, her normals get buffed. Like, Standing Fierce is so abusable. So, it's like, when she actually is in V-Trigger, she gets like a crazy, if she gets a crush counter, she gets huge damage. Like, her damage output is increased because of V-Trigger 2. Because she could dash up and do low strong and the low strong stand fierce target combo and then go into a full conversion again.
Yeah.
Or she could also get other mix-ups still with Hailstorm. Like, even though she doesn't get the ambiguous 50-50, she still has other stuff. Like, on activation, she could do medium kick into V-Trigger activation and then dash under, choose left, right. And then if she knocks you down, she could throw down the Hailstorm and then dash and make you guess what side to block on the Hailstorm. So she still has crazy stuff. It's just that the abusable stuff got toned down. V-Skill got fixed because it used to work in V-Trigger 2 to where it was like not as punishable and you gotta confirm on hit with it. And then it's like her buttons, they weren't as punishable. Now they are, and they're a little bit more minus on whiff. And it's like, the thing is, in general, she got normalized. And the V-Trigger 2 got normalized as well. And I feel like because of that, we've seen the decrease in Colleen. So
right, to be a top 5, you can't just be good. You gotta be like insane, you know?
You gotta have something abusable. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you gotta have something abusable.
Yeah, exactly.
And you gotta have an actual reversal. That counter is not good.
I guess the simple comparison you can make is that Colleen was kind of like, I mean, I guess now she's kind of like discount Ibuki, if you think about it. Right? Like, Ibuki still has all of the abusable stuff, and that's why she's so
and Ibuki's
good,
discount Akuma?
I guess.
Oh, man.
Went to the deli store.
So yeah, like, Colleen just doesn't have that abusable stuff anymore, so she can contend with people that actually have.
And Guile's discount Menat. Sorry, I gotta keep going. Okay, last character I want to talk about before we close this video is Mika. I'm mentioning Mika because we're getting a lot of players playing Mika, and they're getting pretty far with her. So what's up with Mika lately? Is it because these characters keep getting nerfed and she's just kind of keeps getting a little bit better, or what?
I would say that Mika in general is a character that after season 1, you know, after they changed, you know, all of the Irish whip setups mid-screen, right?
Yeah.
People kind of like discovered how to play her in a more solid way, right? Especially Funo, who's been playing her since the game was released, right?
Right.
And she's a character that can actually play, you know, in a solid way. And she has a mobility options, you know, NTA options. She's got pressure, she's got command grabs. So, I mean, she's still pretty versatile. She's not as crazy as the top tiers, of course, otherwise she'd be, you know, top 5.
Yeah.
But, you know, since you can play her solid, that's a really good feature. I
And
guess
in the
you could
corner,
say.
she's still pretty ridiculous. Like,
Mhm.
again, you gotta hold that Lady Mika. It's +3, and you gotta guess between whether she's gonna throw you or not with it.
Yeah, exactly. Crash counters, juggles for days. Solid damage. You know, the V triggers. Both V triggers are good choices. Although I guess V trigger one is a little bit more prevalent.
Yeah.
So you still have, you know, a lot of options, which is great. Like she's, I guess, a high tier character that can deal with top tiers. I mean, not as well as other top tiers, but she has options, which is great to have.
She definitely has the ability to put you in the blender, like some other characters, and in a more like the fact that she's able to put you into, she hits you once and she puts you into that +2, +3 situation. Most characters can do that, but with her, it's scary because she can go back into it because her command throws still give her a lot of pressure
She's
afterwards.
like forward hard punching the EX command grab.
Yeah,
Scary, man.
Like,
Okay, well, that's pretty much our list here. Guys, let me know in the comments below if you guys agree with this top 5, and if you do, let us know your exact order you would put them in, just to, you know, see if you guys compare it to our list as well. And we
tell
should
us why
definitely do this
Akuma's the
again.
first.
What's that, Mir?
No, and tell us why Akuma is in the first place.
Yeah, and tell us why Akuma is first. I mean, you guys could just give us the 4. We could all assume Akuma's the 4. Oh, man. Alright, guys, do us a solid. Please subscribe to the channel. Of course, like the video. It really helps. Mir, Sonic, thanks a lot for helping me with this and giving me your thoughts.
too easy.
And hopefully we'll do this again sometime. Maybe we'll do our bottom 5 characters. That'll be interesting.
Well, that's more controversial, like that.
I'm ready.
Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Later.